Guys, welcome to December's episode of Building Whitetails. It is cold out and we are going to go over two things, food and late season trail camera plans.
I've said it before, you'll hear me say it again, I will continue to say it. Help the deer do what deer want to do.
Guys, it's late season. The later we get in the season, the temperatures are dropping. It's cold out right now, and I cannot express how important it is to have this late season food on your farm. It's absolutely key to holding deer late season as deer become more patternable. Bucks are trying to put weight back on from rut. They're run down. Does are grouped back up. These deer are starting to become, more and more reliant on a good food source. And these bucks will become more patternable again because they're going to try to find a home core, where they don't have to travel much. They've got safety, they got food. Those are the key things. And trail cameras really help us learn a lot about that here to hopefully, if you still got a tag left, harvest a deer in the late season. All right, so we're rolling into the end of deer season here. Rifle season's almost over. Guys, I'm trying to take inventory to find out what bucks are left on my farm. And I designed this location on my property here. It's a natural pinch point now due to the different, the way I planted the food plots and the screening. I have this camera on a 4x4 post, put it in the ground. It's a permanent spot. I mean, the deer really travel through here. If a deer comes through my farm, they almost always come through this location. So I put up a Link S with an external battery pack. I also put an antenna, signal booster on it, and I put a solar panel on it. And that really helps in these cold winter months to get, keep those cameras going as best that we can. Like I said, for one, I'm looking to see what bucks are left. What up-and-comers made it, what mature deer made it. That's really key to the management plan. How many does do we have? Trapping season's coming up. We're gonna, how many coyotes? I have a lot of coyotes here right now. I have more coyotes in my place right now than I have ever had before. So that's really something I'm keeping, in my mind. Is hey, as soon as season is here, the right time to trap coyotes. January. I don't want to come in early and bump the deer out. I want to come in afterwards. I don't want to be intrusive, but I want to really knock these coyotes out. So again, with late season. Guys, I love to shed hunt. I think any avid outdoorsman loves shed hunting. It builds the story. It really gets you connected with more with the deer that you're chasing, the deer that you hope to chase in the future. Guys, the deer late season, typically it's cold. Bucks are, shed in the month of February, some in January, but from my experience, most drop in February or the very early part of March. Primarily, most bucks. There's some deer that are different. Shed sooner, some shed very late. But the mass majority, that's when they shed their antlers. The number one thing that I want at that time, I want them to be unpressured. I want them to be bedding on my place. And when deer bed on, late season like that, they're close to food typically. So I'm keying in on my grains. If we do get a warm front, they're still going to be here. But I want to keep them here with the greens. Deer love greens as well when those temperatures start to rise. So that's why I plant both in one area. Like I said, jump back to the last Building Whitetails episode. I go over a lot of that information. But, and let those cameras tell you, keep those cameras on food, keep them on pinch points close to food. Let those cameras tell you when to go shed hunting because, last thing I want to do is go in and start shed hunting when I think the deer have dropped and say next year's target buck or whatever it might be, maybe it's a lot of bucks have not quite shed yet. I don't want to run them off and not, get the chance of finding those antlers. So that's really, something I rely on is let the cameras tell me when to shed hunt. It really gathers a lot of important information. So with that, we're going to roll into fawn recruitment. It's kind of the next thing I'm looking for. When do those fawns start to drop? And that can tell me a lot about when the rut happened. I've noticed there's a lot of people out there that talk about different timings of the rut. I think the rut happens about the same time every year. We just see it different, so therefore we get the interpretation that rut happens a different time every year. But you can take the dropping of the fawns. You can see when the fawns are being born. You can time it back to really hone in on, man, when did a lot of these does get bred? So last January, go back and check out those Building Whitetails episodes. Last January went over trapping different sets, dirt hole sets, trapping raccoons. We're going to dive into more of that, but we're going to kind of dive into it at a different angle this year and look at different sets, implementing new sets into our arsenal of catching predators. Those are some really good episodes. They're a lot of fun to make, got some really good information in there. But like I said, we're going to dive into trapping, trail camera usage on trapping here in this next month to really teach us, more on how to be better stewards of our ground. And like and subscribe, guys. Really looking forward to this next series and season. I plan on it being the best one yet.